Hi everyone, this is Emily Mercado of Loves to Travel the World Travel Agency. Today we're going to be talking about the different categories of cruise lines, luxury or mainstream, and some of the similarities and differences between each level, and some considerations for when it's time to book your cruise. So the question of the day is, which cruise line category should you choose? All right, there are many different categories, like I said earlier, and you want to make sure that you're choosing the right category to make your cruise experience perfect. Everyone is different and everyone has different preferences. What's right for me might not be right for you, and vice versa. Yeah, because I'm sure that we all have different preferences and different things that we're looking for from our cruise experience. So for that reason, it's actually a good idea to use a travel agent like me, because I can help you pick the right kind of cruise based on both your preferences and your budget as well. So the classification system, it's kind of informal, I suppose, for cruise lines. They're classified according to the level of service and the amenities available on board, kind of like hotels on land. Amenities can include things like dining or activities or even their itinerary and how much you're going to pay. Some of the things you want to consider when you're booking a cruise include the itinerary, where you're going, what destinations you want to travel to, what kinds of things you want to see, and what kind of amenities are on board. If you're looking for a more family-friendly cruise line where there's just a ton of activities, or if you're looking for a more refined, quieter kind of cruise where it's, say, more focused on dining. Another thing you want to consider is are the activities that you can find on board. If you're looking for more family-friendly activities, or if you're looking more for a more sedate, more quiet experience. And also the cost, what your budget is. Obviously, if a cruise line is more family-friendly, they tend to be a little bit less expensive. And if you're looking for a more luxury experience, obviously that's going to be costing you a little bit more money. The categories are mainstream, your more family-friendly cruises, premium, luxury, and ultra luxury. And we're going to get into all of these categories in detail. The first category we're going to talk about are your mainstream cruises. They're more value-based, which means that they're less expensive. Not necessarily cheaper, but less expensive. Cruise lines that fall under the mainstream category include Royal Caribbean, MSC, Norwegian, Carnival, and Costa. Comparable to what a three-star hotel would be. Okay, it's a more resort-style approach to these mainstream cruises. And you're going to have a lot of amenities on these particular cruise ships, such as rock climbing walls, water slides, surfing areas. These are your more family-friendly kinds of cruises. And you're going to have a lot of just a wide variety of specialty or themed restaurants. With these, there is a separate cover charge for these specialty and themed restaurants, but the main restaurants, which are generally included in the cruise price, it's still a really good quality food and it's a lot more casual. And there's not really you're not going to have a strict dress code with these kinds of cruises as you would with your more luxury level cruises. And there's activities galore for teens and children. All right. And the focus in mainstream cruises is more on the onboard experience rather than the destination. So if you're looking for a really good experience on board a ship, mainstream cruises might be the way for you to go. Most of the itineraries that you'll find are in areas like the Caribbean, Alaska, Mexico, those kinds of more mainstream tourist-driven areas. And these cruise lines will very often run very affordable specials, and you are going to get a lot of last minute, really, really good deals. And mainstream cruises, like I said, are perfect for young families with children, and travelers who are looking for a bit of fun, where they want to dance all night, play sports, and tend to enjoy more physical activities on board. Okay, and then the next step up is your more premium cruises. Think Holland America, Cunard, Celebrity, P&O, Disney Cruises, and also Princess Cruises. It's comparable to a 4-star hotel, so a step up from your 3-star hotels. The demographics that these cruise lines are targeting is a more sophisticated clientele, empty nesters and professionals, lawyers, physicians, along those lines. A lot of the amenities on these particular ships, they very often don't include rock climbing walls or water slides, but they do have a plethora of lectures, special guests, and so on that are tailored more toward the itineraries of these particular ships. There are a number of specialty dining options on premium cruises, but not as many as might be on a mainstream cruise line. However, the focus is more on the dining experience. The quality of food is consistently excellent no matter where you dine, and the dining setting is a little bit more upscale. It's a little bit more formal, but not quite as formal as a luxury cruise. And you are going to get food presentation. The food will be presented to you in a way that would be like on par with a gourmet restaurant. There are kids and teens centers available on board, but that's not really going to be the focus of these premium cruises. They're more like in a separate area. And there is generally a more strict dress code for dinner and formal nights, where you're going to be expected, say, to wear khakis and a polo shirt, or for men, or for women, maybe like slacks and a blouse, or a dress or a skirt and a blouse. The focus of these particular cruises is more on the destinations as opposed to what's going on board. There'll be a wider variety of itineraries as well, to a lot of different, maybe more unique areas. And a lot of times you're going to find specialized cruises for groups in the premium cruises category. For example, birdwatching cruises, bridge player cruises, maybe more faith-based travel cruises, anything like that where there's going to be a more focused topic or type of cruiser. Okay, premium cruises are perfect. Premium cruises are perfect for a more mature clientele. Older couples, maybe with older children, teens, maybe mid to late teens, early 20s. And the focus is more on the destinations and the ports of call as opposed to, like I said, what's going on board. Passengers tend to enjoy and look for a more sophisticated atmosphere with a better food, better service, and just basically more like a higher level, a higher caliber of food and service. You can also, like if you're a multi-generational family with young children and grandparents traveling together, and like I said earlier, there are options for children and teens on board where they can have activities as well. The next step up is a luxury cruise. Cruise lines such as Oceania, Windstar, and Asmara. These ships tend to be a lot smaller, and they provide a more comprehensive range of room categories, accommodation categories. It does tend to be a little bit less all-inclusive, but more exclusive. These ships are comparable to a five-star hotel. Again, another step up from premium cruises. And the target audience, the target demographic for these luxury cruises is a more upscale clientele, where they're often celebrating a milestone birthday or a retirement. A milestone birthday could be like celebrating a 50th birthday, a 60th birthday, 80th birthday, and so on and so forth. Because luxury cruise lines often have smaller ships, they can often visit ports of call that other cruise lines aren't able to get to because other cruise lines maybe have a larger ships, where luxury cruises can go into more unique ports of call because they have smaller ship sizes. And there's more personalization on board, a more personalized touch, because it is a smaller boat, and by default there are going to be fewer passengers on board. The food is usually very refined and very gourmet, and is perfect for travelers who enjoy traveling in style and they want to explore areas that are more off the beaten path, or that aren't quite as touristy as, say, Mexico or the Bahamas. Like I said, these luxury cruises make for an excellent choice for a retirement celebration, a milestone birthday, or a celebration like a significant anniversary. And the highest level of cruises is the ultra luxury cruises. Cruise lines such as Seabourn, Silversea, Regent Seven Seas, Viking, Hapag-Lloyd, Ponant, and Crystal Cruises. These are smaller all-suite ships, and these actually are more all-inclusive than any of the other kinds of cruises that I've talked about today. And there's also a very, very high level of very personalized service. These ships are comparable to luxury boutique hotels, which is a step above your five-star hotel, your usual five-star hotel. The rooms tend to be a little bit more substantial than your run-of-the-mill cruise line, and include many more amenities than a standard cruise ship. And in these ultra-luxury cruises, inside cabins are very, very rarely offered, if at all. The target clientele, the target demographic is those travelers who often tend to travel almost exclusively in first class, business class or first class. A more inclusive service means that alcoholic drinks are almost always included, as well as your standard run-of-the-mill drinks, coffees, teas, juices, soft drinks, and so on. And because these ships tend to be a little bit smaller, by default, the restaurants tend to be a little bit smaller and a little bit more intimate as well. These ultra luxury cruises are all about customer service, butler service, and a more personalized touch. Just because there is more, there would be a fewer number of people, which allows for the cruise crew to give more personal service. And again, because these boats are smaller, you have even more exotic and unusual destinations on the itineraries. For example, the Northwest Passage, going to Antarctica, the Galapagos Islands, and really options that aren't on your standard itineraries. And these ultra-luxury cruises are perfect for those who enjoy the best in life and want to go where tourism really isn't mainstream yet. So some final thoughts here. I know this is a lot to look at, but whichever category you choose, mainstream, luxury, ultra luxury, it's important to know what to expect, which is why I made this little video. Each cruise line, even within each category, each cruise line offers its own individual features, service levels, food choices, and packages. So it's important to have a really good idea of what it is that you're looking for as a passenger. It's important to remember that, especially if you're traveling with children, little children, or even teenagers or young adults, it's important to know which cruise lines even cater to children. Some do, some don't, so it's really important to know that as well. Some cruise lines offer a la carte options, others offer more inclusive options, and the itinerary that you want to go on might be a factor as well. Again, each cruise line specializes in certain destinations, and where you want to go, where you want to visit, ultimately will impact which cruise line you end up choosing. All of these things taken together is very important to work with a travel agent like myself, who has been trained on all different kinds of cruise lines, and I have a very good understanding of what each cruise line offers, what each category level offers, so that I can best direct you not only for what your itinerary is, but also keeping within your budget as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you got a lot out of this short video. If you'd like to contact me, you can contact me through Facebook, Instagram. You can visit my website, and you can also reach out to me via email. And I also have a YouTube channel. So if you have any other questions, or if you'd like to have a conversation to talk about your next cruise, please give me a call. I'm happy to help whenever I can. And I'm happy to help make your travel dreams come true.